Our special guest today is Jerry Chang, the CSO of FaceHeart. Jerry, can you tell us what's the idea behind FaceHeart?
Okay, FaceHeart in general is a school project out of National Chartered University back in actually 2010. So at that time, I think Dr. Wu, who is the founder of the FaceHeart, started we call the AI 1.0. The AI 1.0 is really just concentrate on algorithm itself. Throughout the history of the AI as a quote-unquote technologies going forward, in about 2015, the algorithm itself gets certain breakthrough. So you look at the Silicon Valley, which is my background coming from. From the venture investment point of view, they start to look at how can we use the AI algorithms and moving into the data processing, which took the entire AI technologies trend into we call the AI 2.0. In a nutshell, the AI 2.0 is to move the algorithms in conjunction with the data itself. So you can see many startups through the 2016 to 2018, they more concentrate on applying the AI algorithm to enterprise data, like make sure the technical support get more efficiency, the ERP system get more fit into enterprises projections. In the late of 2018 toward 2019, people in the Silicon Valley, particularly on the venture investment side, which is also I come from, we look into so-called AI 3.0. Is now we're looking more like on ecosystems to set up and move the AI just for enterprise data into a more valuable, we call more valuable data as a set, which means this is what FaceHeart trying to do. In about last year, when the Dr. Wu, which is also my classmate, come talk to me, looking as my personal opinion. Also, we discuss a lot of what kind of data are more valuable in terms of applying the AI algorithm. So in general, there are three data that would be very valuable. One is we call enterprises, which is already in the 2.0. The other one is actually in the medical side. And the third one is more on the integration part of the entire society, which I think will come from in 2025, like a robot, everything affect. So in the middle part is really what idea of the FaceHeart coming from. The name of the company is very good. I'm looking at your face, I got your heart rate. It's more on the vital signage of a personal. So starting from about, I would say 1.5 years ago, we kept on talking early part of 2018. So we moved the AI algorithm into research. Then we make it developments on using the same technologies for the image processing and move into looking at just your face. Now we can do it. We can measure the heart rate variabilities, come out with blood pressures followed by blood oxygens. In combinations of those fantastic data by just looking at your face, we collect the data, we can move the algorithm into we call a smart health, which is the idea behind the entire FaceHeart as a product developing going forward.
Okay, thank you. That's very impressive. So you have been here at TTA for about a year now. Can you tell us about your experiences at TTA and how the program has helped you and your business grow?
I think as a startup company, particularly in Taiwan, from my point of view, the most important is for the startup to going outside the Taiwan, to looking at the international market. I think TTA provide two things, very valuable, particularly to a startup company start from the Taiwan. One is they provide a platform. The platform allows a small startup like a FaceHeart that can all of a sudden has the capability then be able to stand on the platform that can facing outside. I think I went to Paris, also Luxembourg this time, a month ago. I had the opportunity to represent FaceHeart, talk to many potential prospects of the business. And in doing so, also because TTA is also sponsored by the governments of Taiwan, which give instantly a credibility for a small startup. So I think the TTA not only just provide a platform, but because of the sponsorship from the government in conjunction, they instantly, I would say, lift up the startup into probably 2 level ups. In that, we see that from the venture investment point of view, which I had about 10 years experiences in Silicon Valley, we will look differently from the startup, because we will say, if the government is willing to sponsor a small startup, also provide a platforms that allow those startups to come out in presenting themselves to an international market, we already give pretty much an okay. Then we're willing to listen. Instead of trying to evaluate what's the technologies, how good they are, what's the business, we more likely we will give a yes to technology. Then throughout the interview or throughout the conversation, we try to figure out what's the business going forward. That I think the TTA, present a great platform for the startups in Taiwan.
Thank you. I'm really glad to hear. What is your biggest milestone?
For small startup, there are many milestones. I think the only milestone we try to make is not to make a bad decision that company will close. But I think from a college research project with Dr. Wu start the whole thing into today, as we are speaking today, I would say three things. Three small milestones. I will combine those into one big milestone. Number one is they get out of the college. Many research projects basically start great in the university, get great laboratory. That's the end of the story, because they cannot commercialize. It's good in terms of the research point of view, but it's no value. I think the first small milestone is it out of the college, out of the university environment. The second one is we got funding. So sometimes a great idea, they couldn't get funding, they cannot going forward. Not because of the technology itself is not good per se, is they don't know how to integrate technologies into the business environment, which by getting the investment from MediaTek, we certainly looking at further investment going forward. The startup already had his feet wet, because we proved that we can move a research project into the real business environment. I think the third one is we have real customers, and I think we have actually three categories that companies going looking on that. One is on the financial side, and the second one is more on the facial recognition side. The third one is what I just mentioned. We are working on the smart health side. So with a paid customers, which is different that you have a customer for trial and nothing. So all the three things, they prove one thing. At this time, it's a big milestone is we make a small startup by converting a research project into a real business world, and we will be able to get paid customer. That's tremendously in terms of moving a technology into the real world. I think this is currently at this particular junction is one of the largest milestones that FaceHeart has accomplished.
Thank you. So lastly, what's coming next for FaceHeart?
Trying to survive. I think very important for a startup is once you got your first paid customers, there are three different measurements that we use to, the venture capitalists use to measure the success of a company. One is the first $1 million revenue. The $1 million revenue is like a magic number. So it's $1 million revenue is we're looking at. The second is what kind of ecosystems you can build in. People talk about ecosystem all over the world, but the ecosystem for us is really, we have to figure out the entire chain. Who is buying from whom, who got what kind of services, but most important is what is the money flow. If you don't have the money flow, the whole chain, and also everybody in the chain has to make money, then you have no business. It's not charity business. So these are the two things we have to focus. But then foremost, the most important is the third one, is we call the company position. Just if you have a new startup, you say I'm good. So if I'm outside, I ask you, okay, you are great, but you cannot do everything by yourself. So what is the positions you are holding right now that can make the whole ecosystem continue to grow like a snowball? We like to say we want to be the core position of the entire ecosystems. So for the next 12 months for this company to grow, we will have probably 3 different markets to target. And in each market, we will create an ecosystem that we think that can center on our product. Whether or not we can do that, we don't know. But it is actually a goal that we set up for the entire company to going forward. I think that's what we can talk a year after, then we see how we accomplish.
Okay, looking forward to that. Thank you, Jerry, for sharing your experiences with us. It's very inspiring. And please stay tuned on our channel for more interesting stories about our startups. See you next time.